Okay, so we are fully back here with another episode of Critical Failures here at the Curse of Strahd ReVamped campaign. We are back with most of the crew here tonight with Gray, Thalamir, Palin, and Gestal. We are going to be continuing our journey into the area of Barovia with the nearby village in the distance. A little bit of a recap of what's happened last session. We have made our way into the actual land of Barovia, a place that is known as a haunting, gothic, and kind of depressing area, with trees that tower up into the skies, a sky that is murky and cloudy. And we did see some open plains and some rivers where we met a fisherman who is looking to be reunited with a lost loved one. After some conversation, that decision has not been made yet. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to that location real quick, kind of see where we're at with that. So for all of us at this time, as we were on our way to the village of Barovia, you guys were deciding potentially on what to do with the fishermen. With decisions still kind of up in the air, the story is yours. With you guys thinking, what do you guys say or do at this time?
Well, we were getting close to the town, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, weren't we walking and talking?
Yeah, would you guys like to continue going all the way to the town, or do you guys do anything along the way to the town?
Honestly, I think it's best to just walk over to the town.
I think that's where we were, because again, we're in this strange new land, and after everything that just happened, heading to a town and recuperating is probably the smartest idea.
Then at this time, I would like to ask for. Let's have Gray give a D100 roll as we begin to make our way into the town.
Oh, hey, that's what happened the last time I said "oh no" when I rolled a D100. Literally the exact same number.
All right. So
apparently, I just need to start saying "oh no."
Yeah. See, that's the thing is you can't be too confident. You just got to be surprised by the rolls because that's when they're cooking. A little kind of. Appearance as we begin to make our way over there at this time. What you guys see is the following. Up ahead, once you guys are walking for the better half of about 15 to 20 minutes, you guys see tall shapes begin to loom out of the dense fog that is in front of you. This fog seems to surround everything as the muddy ground that is under your feet give way to a slick, wet cobblestone. The tall shapes become recognizable. It's a village. You can see the windows of each house stare out like pools of blackness, a dark void behind their walls. It feels more of like shells of homes. You hear a mournful sobbing off into the distance that echoes through the streets. Besides that, you're greeted with more ominous sounds of creaking wood, the random cat or mouse that scatters across what looks to be trash that is in one of the alleyways. There is no protection to this town. There is no wall, there is no gate, there is no moat. Simply any creature can kind of come as they go as they please, with kind of bits of rubble and bits of remains of older houses and their foundations being the only fortitude that this place has. It smells. It has the smell of a kind of dark kind of muck that kind of fills your nose, and the smell of charcoal from distant fires. You see that there are some lights from within the village, but looking around, you can kind of discern that this town probably is around 80 to 100 residents at most. And as you guys approach, that is what you guys see. What do you guys do at this time?
I'm going to look to Thalomir. I'm going to say, do you remember this town? Is this what it was like 100 years ago?
Is this what this town was like several hundred years ago, Wade?
Give me a history check at this time.
Okay.
See that roll. 10.
Oh.
You remember the town looks similar to how you remembered it. You've been through a few areas at the time. This looks more beaten and battered than it was before. Some buildings that you remember are no longer there, but everything just kind of looks like this soup of forgottenness. So yes, it is different than how you remembered it.
I mean, to say that every town looks the same, they're all dark and dreary like this. Everyone is fighting for their life and just barely surviving. It's what seems like.
And you all wanted to save these people?
But yeah, why wouldn't? I mean, these people deserve more.
So wouldn't you be in the history books? Your order.
Depends, I mean, we weren't here very long. I'm not sure how many people before us have tried what we tried. we can check and see if there's any sort of stories or rumors or folklore or anything like that. But we weren't very successful. We didn't even make it into the castle.
Well, my concern is if they can see your emblems or your order or recognize the kind of armor you're wearing, then we are less suspicious walking into this town. Because at least most of us would be not recognized as a threat immediately.
It's hard to say whether or not they would recognize my armor or not. We didn't really spend a lot of time conversing with citizens of the town.
You wish to save them, but not to know them.
Well, like I said, we weren't here very long. We didn't have time to even, sleep at an inn, really. I mean, we set up camp 1 or 2 nights out in the forest. By the time we found a town, it was already too late. A miracle we haven't been struck down yet.
You notice
from
rain
him.
begins to kind of spatter across some of the shingles from some of the roofs as you guys are talking in this area. And Thalamir, as you're describing some of these memories that you do have, some of the sounds of the rain that kind of hits the shingles and everything just reminds you of that place where you once were. But continue.
We should find some shelter. It's getting a little late. And this rain will only get colder. I'm gonna walk towards some sort of inn if I can find it.
As you begin to make your way over, kind of into the meat of the village at this time, Palin, feel free to give me a D100 roll at this time. 85. All right, we're rocking the 85s today.
Yeah.
Palin, you are making your way kind of in the middle of the group, kind of scooting around this area. And as you look, you can see a few faces in some of the upper windows of some of the residences. Most of the residences are covered with, wooden barriers or shackles that kind of keep this place closed. But some of the windows that are open, you can actually see a few faces kind of pop their heads down. Another thing you do notice as you begin to kind of glance around this village is through one of the alleyways. You hear a muttered growling sound. You can hear it kind of distant and disembodied. And as you kind of poke your head in that area, not seen and not close enough to be in danger, you notice 3 dogs fighting over what looks to be some large object. They are kind of tearing and yanking back and forth at it. But as a little bit of that dim sunlight, if you would call it that, kind of cracks through, you can see this looks to be a torso of a body. It looks to be an elvish man that has been kind of ripped to shreds, and the 3 dogs are fighting over this body at the time. You can see that there is a burlap kind of backpack that is there as well that is kind of ripped apart. But you are seeing this in front of you at this moment. Palin, feel free to give me an insanity saving throw at this time for seeing such a horrific event.
Hey, can you remind me how to do that?
Yes. So if you check the book party,
Isn't it like charisma and wisdom or something?
yeah. So it is your sanity score is your wisdom modifier plus your charisma modifier plus 10, and you would just roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, so I heard wisdom saving throw, so I'm for sure gonna do that.
Yes, and you'll add your wisdom modifier, charisma modifier.
Is it?
Oh no,
So
sorry.
is it?
That's how you get your sanity score. Yeah. So with a 9, what you would notice is you feel.
Well, I had my charisma, no?
So that's just for your sanity scores, like where you're at overall. So that would be
Okay.
10 plus your wisdom plus your charisma. So that's kind of like
And
your
that's
base
saving throw or
No, so the saving throw is just the
the
wisdom
actual.
save. That's just how many
So
points.
it's just the actual score.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So
So like
that
plus
would be,
4.
Yeah. So that would be your like
Whatever.
overall thing, 10, 14, whatever that is.
Got it.
So with a 9 though, seeing the horrific kind of, disarming of somebody onto the thing, you will just lose 1 point of sanity as you see that. But as you see this, is there anything you do at this time or anything that you say?
Yeah, I'd like to jump back to the faces real quick. Did those look like normal, like, faces? Or were they strange?
Feel free to give me a insight check at this time. And
Well,
as-
faces come out of the rain when you're
That's what I'm
strange.
saying.
There it is. With a 12 insight, you can tell that these look to be residents of the actual Barovian village, who are kind of just like poking their heads up to see who is walking down the middle of the kind of cobblestone streets, and also what's everybody doing, and also the sound of these dogs. So these are just people who are curious from what you can see.
Okay, fair enough. And this body, it's a torso
Yeah.
and a backpack, and the dogs are eating it.
They're kind of tearing apart the body, yes.
Is there a head to this body?
There is a head in the body, indeed, yes.
Well, jump scare, okay. I would like to look at the head of this body.
Do you approach the dogs?
Yeah, I'll show up.
As you approach, give me an intimidation check to see how these dogs interact with you. Or if you want to keep them like relaxed and animal handling. That is up to you.
He's a pumpkin, so they aren't going to enjoy
Yeah.
eating him regardless.
Yeah, I'll. No, let's intimidate these dogs out of here.
He's got to
16.
worry about the
16,
squirrels.
baby. With a 16,
Yeah, dude.
you,
That's number one enemy.
you begin to approach, and the flickering arcane flames of your interior of your skull scares them off as they see the light, and they kind of they grab a little bit of meat and kind of run off through the alleyways, leaving the torso, the head, and the sack behind.
Okay, let's grab the backpack and the face. Is that intact, or have they eaten it?
It has been kind of picked to the bone. You can make out some elvish elements, but you cannot
Ugh.
identify the person.
Ooh.
It's been rotted, and it looks like it's been there for a while. It does not look to be a fresh body either.
Cool. Okay.
Did he really lose a sanity, or is he like, that's fucking cool?
It's kind of fall out.
All right. What's in this backpack?
Okay. In the villager's kind of backpack, what you see is the following. You see that there is 25 gold pieces inside. You can see that these have been kind of hidden as they've been kind of tucked into one of the interior pockets. Another thing that you also see are 2 cans of what is called brittle leaf. Looking at kind of reading over the can, this is what you have found. Now you have 2 cans of these. There we go. So these kind of manufactured cans look like this. They have these kind of curled up leaves inside. It has 5 usages per can. What it does, though, is chewing on it gives you some benefits when it comes to exhaustion, but you have to be careful about the consumption of these brittle cans. But you have 2 of those, is what you found.
Okay. Anything else?
Besides that, nothing else. Besides that, you can see that there are some, in the distance, other buildings that look to be a little bit more lively, some lights that's visible through them. But besides that, nothing else kind of meets your eyes.
Okay. And you said I kind of came down an alleyway to check this out?
Correct.
Okay. I'll head back to the group, and I'll just let everyone know that there is, in fact, a torso with no legs. A head, though, and down that alleyway. He was being eaten by dogs. Could be an elf. Backpack has some cans of something and some gold. So we're all a little bit wealthier. However, there is a dead person in that alleyway.
Did it have functional arms? Did you see if it did or not?
The body?
Yes.
It had a less than functional face. I didn't get a good look at the arms. I would imagine they are not in a good state.
Should be good enough. Go down the alley so that I can give it some spores.
No.
Stop her for a second. And I'm gonna point out to the windows. We are new to this town. And the last man we spoke to considered us to be agents of this Strahd. If you go over there and start using your wicked spores on it, what do you think they will do to us?
They aren't magic. I'd just be planting. Mushrooms would grow, no different than any other corpse.
They do not know what you are doing, and that is enough.
Very well, I will leave it be.
He wasn't looking good. You didn't want him for your garden anyway.
Bad fertilizer.
Mm.
Yeah, he's. Oh.
Whatever you believe.
We have to be careful what we hear. We do not know anything of this land. Our only recollection is from hundreds of years ago. From Barovia. I'd rather not fight everything here or whatever else. We should be cautious at first.
Very well.
I agree. The residents seem nervous to see people here. A lot of them have been looking in the windows, I've noticed. I don't know if our presence is necessarily welcome either.
Seems they don't get visitors too often.
No, not good ones anyway.
And the ones that they do aren't very good. We should try and gain the trust of the citizens first. Maybe tell our story, hear theirs.
Maybe they have some sort of tavern, a place where they'll gather.
Yeah, and I'm still looking for that, by the way, Wade.
Yeah. And as you guys are talking and discussing this, seeing this corpse inside the village, you do wind up seeing a location of interest in the distance in Alamir. You can see a section where people kind of converge when it comes to the cobblestone streets, but one specific building catches your eye. A single shaft of light thrusts through what looks to be a main square with a brightness that looks like a pillar of glowing sunlight. What you can see is there is a door off into the distance that has an old sign that hangs by only one bit of what looks to be some type of chain. It says Blood on the Vine Tavern. That is what you can kind of see, and you can see what looks to be the dim flickering of fire from the inside, perhaps like a fireplace or such. But besides that, there is not a lot of other faces or individuals that catch your eye. That is all you see at the current moment.
I assume that's where we're gonna go.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. As you guys begin to make your way over there, there are two other things that you do see as you begin to approach at this time. You notice that there is a shop that is about 3 buildings down. You can see a sign that is illuminated by candles. It is the Talloman's Workshop. You can see in the distance that there is a smaller pet shop. As you can see that there is a big painting of what looks to be a dog. And Mathura is the name of the shop over there. Some locations that you guys see as you guys begin to approach, but one thing you do notice is down the long stretch of these cobblestone streets looks to be a church on a hill. You can see that there is some fencing that kind of goes around it, some tombstones, but not a lot of detail from the distance that you're at. As you guys begin to approach the inside of the tavern, this is what you guys see. As you guys are in the southern section over here, feel free to open up that door for you guys as you guys make your guys way into the Blood on the Vine Tavern. what it looks like from the interior is the following. It is very bland. It is very dry. There's no decor on the inside at all. What you can see are plaster and wooden walls on the interior. You can see that there are large, heavy picnic tables that have been dragged. You can actually see the spots on the floor from a long time ago that is actually dug into the wood. You can see that there's a few patrons inside, and the air is still and kind of dust-filled when you kind of take an inhale. You can see that there is a bar kind of in the northern section. You can see a few individuals huddled over here by what looks to be the warmth of the fireplace, and some other people sitting down inside. This is what you guys see at the current time as you guys are inside Blood of the Vine Tavern.
My familiar is going to be invisible.
Gotcha.
At the moment. just so you, yeah. He was dead for a second.
There.
He's much better now.
Refresh.
I'm gonna take a long look at all of the patrons here.
Anyone you
Are they
try to
looking
look
at us?
When you open the door, yes. When that door swings, you can see everybody kind of has this long stare kind of towards to see who it is, and then seeing the group of you guys appear, they kind of stare awkwardly for what feels like minutes, but in the reality it was probably a few seconds, as they either continue to look back down at their drink or food, or for those at the fireplace, turning back to warm their hands up.
They don't freak out when they see a pumpkin man or a centaur walking.
For those, once you guys walk in, you can see everybody is extremely...
Or an undead mushroom lady?
The undead mushroom,
Undead mushroom lady is hiding her veil. She's using a veil to hide how undead and mushroomy she is.
You're with the monster crew as you walked in. You can see
The monster mash.
these two kind of by the fire. They kind of huddle and have a long stare. The biggest ones that kind of catch your attention is that this man here, as you walk in, you can see he kind of leans back and just kind of stares. You can see that his expression is surprised, but you can also see that he's holding onto the hilt of his blade, ready to strike, just in case any trouble happens. You feel a tenseness as you walk in, almost as if a pin drops, chaos would ensue. Feel free to do what you would please to do at this time, but be cautious. There's a lot of eyes, a lot of tension is still on you at this moment.
Which one was the guy holding the sword again?
This one over here.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna take a long look at everybody. Just kind of look at them. And then I'm gonna shake the water off my body.
As that happens, you can see everyone kind of turns for a moment. You can see that blade, you actually hear the sound of it almost unsheath a little bit, as you can just feel that tension rise a little bit. And you also notice that this individual over here by the fireplace now has grabbed onto what looks to be his long bow that is against his side.
I'm going to ever so slowly clop on my way down the hallway.
Clunk, clunk,
Just
clunk, clunk.
clop, clop. Just past this guy, look at him, then look away.
You see,
He's no harm. He's no threat to me. I'm no threat to him.
he kind of looks you up and down and kind of almost wants to say something, but kind of bites his tongue as he continues to watch you at this time.
I'm gonna go to the bar and get something.
You can see.
I'm gonna get a round for everyone.
You can see that this individual at the bar over here looks to be asleep with his head and looks to be laying against the wooden bar top. You can see the barkeep in the corner is polishing what looks to be this large frying pan, very slowly, looking at his reflection, wiping it, and just kind of glancing, kind of dazed and not paying attention to you as you approach.
Excuse me, bartender.
Oh, yes. How can I
Can I
help
get-
you?
Could I get 4 large ales and 1 small ale, please?
4 large ales and 4 small ales.
1 small ale.
Small ale. Okay. As he begins to kind of slowly scoot, and as he does so, you actually can hear each floorboard kind of squeak and kind of bend and give a little bit by his weight, as he almost mechanically begins to kind of scoot his way over and fill some glasses up and scoots them towards the table. As he turns and goes, Is there any food for the big steed for this evening as well?
At the
You wanna
moment,
talk
no.
about that?
Just I am squint at him.
No food on the table then, as he begins to work and slides some of the drinks over as he goes, that would be... Do you have any eggs? Or any meat? I'm willing to barter. It's just coin, even from outsiders, doesn't really matter that much here in the village.
I do not have anything like that.
Well,
No, I really don't have anything.
If I were to make a throw to the bar with these cans of bitter leaves, what would that take?
let's do a perception to see if you can hear it. And if you can hear it, feel free to do an athletics to see if you can throw it over there.
Okay. Does an 8 reach my pumpkin ears?
Delamere, would you say you're talking loud or are you just talking in conversation?
Nah, not loud at all.
Okay.
But like, there's nothing going on in this bar. Nobody's saying anything. So you know, whispers carry, man.
It is quiet. Palin, if you
Just
like
chuck it
to-
off of instinct.
Yeah, just be like,
Yeah.
he looks like he's in danger.
Well,
Roll the rabbit. I love
his-
Chef Boyardee. That
He's
can.
he's brought him his ales. No. I see that a transaction is happening. There's a pause on the ales.
you
I'd
see-
like to see them delivered.
You see, there's a little bit of a hold for motive view, like
Yeah.
approach, but you haven't heard anything
Nope.
yet.
Nope. I want to throw it from where I'm at. I'm at the door.
Are you
Trying to
throwing
across the map this can.
Are you trying
Great,
to throw
we're
it
gonna throw
at
this can
Delamere, or are
over
you
the
trying to hit the
guy
bar?
with the sword.
I want it.
Oh,
I want it to delicately land between them,
Okay.
right here.
Give me an
like a-
athletics check. It's gonna be a DC of 16.
We're thinking like a Chef Boyardee kind of roll
Like a-
down the highway.
No. This is a long arc. I want this to get some
Steph
height.
Curry, okay.
What are the ceilings in the like in here?
You're probably looking at give or take about 15 feet. Okay.
Has a 3.
Your plan there.
With a
Give him the
3
can.
With a 3 at this time, you take out one of these cans of leaf and you kind of aim and you calculate the shot. And as you
I got
chuck it, one of the horns on Thalamir seems to catch the can as it kind of gets stuck right on the top, and you can just
Oh, you
see it
got
kind
it.
of wedge. Thalamir, you just feel a slight kind of nudge on your back, and you gotta look up. You don't see nothing, but you feel a little bit heavier at this time.
best case scenario right there.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good. That was straight to you.
Give it a feel, and yes, you do feel a can that is now in your hand right now that is partially punctured. Looking across the tavern, you can see this guy in the middle has his blade basically out, looking over at the pumpkin, who is just looking towards you with his hand extended post throw.
I've got
Thumbs
one
up.
of these. Will this do it?
That could be enough for the drinks. As he grabs it,
You might want to eat it quickly. It kind of opened.
Oh, I don't really mind the flavor difference. Thank you. As he kind of just puts it into one of the
I'll
lower shelves
give
and nudges
him-
the drinks over.
I'll give him the leaking can of leaf.
He'll take it. It's valuable. As he will take that object from you, giving you your drinks back at this time.
Cool.
Look at that. We basically got this for free.
I'm gonna slowly
We got
walk
that
back
off
down
the
this
board. It's all good.
area, and then we'll take a seat at this table here.
Hey, good catch, Thalamir. That was good.
Gray's been sitting here this whole time, hands folded, just watching the whole mess go down.
What can I say? I've got eyes over my shoulders, eyes behind the back of my head, I guess.
Logistically, how are you sitting at this table? I do want to know
You know
how
what?
you.
I guess I'm parked like
You side sitting?
I'm parked like here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the captain's chair. You brought your
Yeah.
own chair. Okay.
As you're
I'm
I
like
was-
full.
I was-
I'm like full hunched over to get to the table.
as
I was gonna say you're a tall guy.
you
You're
just kneel, you know. As you guys are all at the table at this time, you guys just feel the awkwardness. There's nobody else inside the tavern is speaking. Even the person who is sitting there in between the throws left to go sit by the bar, which you guys have kind of found your seating over there at this time. For the four of you, what do you guys do as you hear this yawn that kind of echoes through the entire tavern? Coming from Palin the Pumpkin. As this happens, you can see these two turn, and you can hear this old man kind of bark your direction. Would you pipe it down, would you? Can't you see we're trying to warm the old fingies?
sorry.
Just to rub his fingers together towards the flames.
Here, everybody, and I hand everyone a large ale, and I hand a small ale to Gestall. Here, here's for your little one, wherever he
I will
is.
hold on to it for now. I can't imagine having him running around here would be an odd benefit.
But just imagine he's like slurping it invisible, Tom and Jerry style.
It's just like
I
I'm afraid.
even got him a straw if it would help. I'll put the straw in the ale.
I'm afraid I will not be drinking mine. The dehydrating properties are not good for me.
Can you see the liquid in these cups? Are they like glass or are they just kind of like mugs?
They are tin, kind of jar-like containers. So they kind of have like a mason jar, but made out of tin. They're clean, but they're a little bit banged, and they have some dents in them. You cannot see the
But you
liquid.
can't see in them.
You can look in, and what you can see is just a dark, kind of multicolored liquid, but you can't make out a lot of details without like pouring it out.
Okay, but like I can't tell if someone's almost done with their drink
Correct.
from looking from the outside. It might be in your benefit to pretend you are drink. Even
Very
if it
well.
does not pass your lips, at least do so so you appear like them.
Very well. And Gray will pretend to sip on her drink.
As you kind of pretend to sip on it. Does anybody actually sip on their drink during this time?
I'll
Yeah.
take a drink.
It is not good. It has some remaining flavors from when it was probably still ripe and non-expired. But this drink, some of the sugars and things like that, they've been kind of mashed together. This looks to be bottom of the barrel, almost the scum of the barrel. It's thick, it's frothy, it's gritty, it tastes like wood. It's not good, but it is alcoholic.
But it won't. It's not like poisonous to us, is
No,
it?
it's just nasty stuff, yeah.
It's like Guinness.
That's
All right. Oh,
That's
all
a
right.
hot take right there.
It's a hot take.
I
Alright.
totally disagree with that.
what a comparison.
Guinness
No,
makes
wait.
good shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie.
Yeah, you
Maybe
can use it to add flavor to the beef and the sauce. Like, it's technically a cottage pie, but it's actually, I have the Dungeon and Dragons cookbook, and it's actually really good.
What's Dungeon and Dragons?
This mead and this ale would not be in any of those cooking books at all, or any of those brewing books. It is disgusting. With all of you guys at the table together, with these drinks in hand, anything you guys discuss or do at this time, as you guys have finally got a little bit of safety in a world of just despair, of dangers and monsters and such.
Does Palin drink?
Yeah, but wait, I'm gonna ask you something.
You do have a fire in there. Is that gonna like, put it
Douse
out?
some?
Yeah.
As you guys are beginning to take some time to try some of these drinks at this time. Yes, that is all good. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are looking over, and you do look at Palin at this time with a drink in hand.
I would bring it to my mouth and pour it into my pumpkin head, but it does not appear to be digested.
So it just sits in there sloshing around?
It just sits in there.
Just watch this puddle begin to kind of wiggle and kind of move, ripple.
Tastes good to me.
You're going to attract squirrels.
Just watch it drip out of the mouth and he leans over. Don't bend over, it's just gonna
There's gonna be a flood soon.
Yeah.
Palin, you are going to attract rodents.
Ooh. Ooh. I'll slowly lean my head forward and pour it back into the mug.
Give me a dexterity to see how good we can pour it into the mug. Let's see if we just spill all over the table.
I've got a good arm. I've got a good head.
11.
I assume that it goes through every tooth.
Yeah, every tooth.
So there's
man.
not
Just all of them.
one,
He does
not
the
one
side
stream.
pause and the side pause.
Yeah,
There's
there you go.
There's a couple seeds that come out as well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect transition, but it's pretty close.
Bit of garnish.
Yeah. $1.
I'll slide my drink towards the center of the table. Maybe someone else would like this.
You see it invisibly just slide right back to you. You're going to have some trouble here. If you
I don't.
do something to win these people over.
Yeah, I don't think we fit in very well.
Man, I really did pick the weirdest group to go with. Huh.
Nice.
Technically, to be
guess
fair, you didn't really
guess-
pick. We freed you from the bathtub from your statue. We found the ring in the bathtub.
I guess I fit in pretty well then, huh?
You and your bathtub ring.
Do any of this guy's wearing armor? Is that like accurate? Is he actually wearing armor?
Which individual are you looking at this time?
This one.
Yes, he is. He is wearing full armor. You also see that there's a
What kind of armor?
greenish hood. You can see that this looks to be chainmail, but you can also see that there is a shield that is also kind of propped up, leaned against. So no, it's not plated. I know it looks like plated, but he does have some armor on at this time. You can see that there's a sword on his back, but he is, well, looks to be passed out with 4 or 5 of those empty jars of drink around him. You can also see that there is a bottle of wine that has been emptied and tilted.
Is there any kind of emblem on his shield that might depict he belonged to something?
You look and you can see an I and a K that have been engraved on it, and there is some type of family crest, but it doesn't ring any bells looking at it currently.
Okay. And the guy that left, what is he doing?
You can
The
see.
guy left to go to the bar.
Well, that's a great thing to look at because you can see him leaning over, talking to the barkeep, and you can see that he's been pointing. And it looks like he's talking about you guys to the barkeep from a distance, and it does not look to be a good conversation.
Trying to cause problems. He keeps reaching for his sword. He's tattling.
He's a little you know, concerned citizen as he's over there
All right.
talking to the barkeep.
Perhaps.
Alright.
Get us?
I want to grab whatever empty mugs we have,
Hmm.
which would be probably mine,
Yeah.
maybe Gestall.
I would have drank mine. I'm used to things tasting horribly and all that, so I would have drank.
And I'll drink the small one from the other guy, from the little
It's
minion
already
guy.
empty.
I'm gonna
Oh,
take him and
now
I'm gonna
we-
bring him up to the bar.
Now you could see something is like squishing around in Palin's cup.
Ooh.
Perfect.
You get to
I'm gonna
approach
bring
it.
him up to the bar.
And as you get closer, you can see the guy kind of leans over and kind of looks back at his drink. As the barkeep kind of looks over and goes, "Back again to vanquish your thirst."
We saw him pointing at us, right?
He did kind of the lean, looking your direction and kind of like nudging over. He didn't directly like point out like that, but yes, he looked like he was talking about you guys.
I'll put my cups down on the bar. Is there a problem here?
I don't know. You trying to find problems?
Seems like that's what you're after.
Well, I'm not after anything besides my drink. He kind of shows, kind of shakes him. You hear the sloshing of his drink. He goes,
With insight check.
Ooh.
"Insight check away." What are you trying to insight off of him?
Whether or not he's telling the truth that he just wants his drink, or he was looking to either gossip or whatever.
You can tell with
Start
the
some trouble.
16 insight. He looked like he was trying to get information or talk to the barkeep about you guys. You're not sure of the exact conversation, but he might have inquired. If you don't mind, I'm trying to get to the bottom of this here tin cup. So please, carry on with your group of freaks into the corner and let me enjoy my beverage in peace.
I'm just gonna look at him. Not say anything.
You can
Size him up.
frustration begins to kind of brew from him as you can see his face is starting to get ready. He goes, "That's the problem with all of you. No damn respect for any of the locals of the village. You come here and think that you own the place, walking in clock, clock, clock. You're lucky Mathora doesn't sell you to somebody as a nice prized pony."
I'm gonna grab him by his throat and lift him up.
As that happens, you can see the barkeep goes, "No, stop." As you pick him up at this moment, you can see that this girl kind of jolts and she kind of like grabs her weapon just in reaction. You hear a kind of moan as this individual kind of rolls back on the side, and you see the two at the bar grab their weapons and begin to kind of make their way over. For the party, you see those two making their way over at this time. You have him in by the hand on his throat. What do you do?
I'm gonna lift him off the ground.
What are you doing?
Better watch your tongue before it's cut from your throat.
All I'm saying is have some damn respect for us. We've been here for decades. Come and storm the place.
Is it a crime to come here seeking beverage and food and shelter from the rain? Is this how you treat all your outsiders, especially those looking to help you?
Outsiders are not welcome. As you can see that the grip kind of tightens on his neck as he goes, "Outsiders are not welcomed into the village. We barely have enough to feed our own, let alone you." And you're gonna give a recovering brittleholic a can of brittle leaf again. You're gonna make him relapse.
I'm gonna throw him down.
As he kind of sits there and looks at you, you can just see anger as he grabs onto the hilt of his weapon tightly and looks at you and goes, "All I asked was for some respect for the village. That's it."
All I expect is respect back.
You can see he kind of leans and slowly kind of puts his back towards you, trying to ignore you at this time.
That's disrespectful. I want to stand up on the table and use thaumaturgy as those people start approaching.
What would you like to do with thaumaturgy?
I want to make my voice boom, and I'm gonna say, like, really, really loudly, "Enough!" Standing on a table, I'm gonna show my emblem of Tyr. I'm going to say, do not wish to get involved, nor do we wish to hurt anyone here. We are here under authority of Tyr. I am here under authority of Tyr. You wish to fight? We will give it to you. So, that is not what we want. We came here from far away. Your town is suffering. We see that. You wish to blame it on us. You wish to cause disrespect for those who have done nothing to you. This is your time to repent, or stay out of it.
You wait a moment as your voice echoes out there, and you can see that the girl who's kind of over here with her weapon kind of just sits back down casually as the two of these individuals kind of look. For the one by you, Thalamir, he just kind of leans and just kind of acts as if nothing has happened between the two of you, just kind of trying to squash that. But as for these two...
I'm gonna lean down to his ear level and just kind of whisper in his ear, "You're lucky I have a shred of morality left." I'm gonna back away and then walk back towards my group.
He stays looking at his drink as you begin to approach. You can
I'm
see
gonna crop dust him too.
Ooh, a little toot as you go by. You can see this individual walks over towards you guys. You can see that he has a almost frosted beard. You can see that he's bald at the top of the head that just peeks under what looks to be one of his hoods. You can see that he has a large hunter's backpack. You can see that there's arrows, a longbow, and what looks to be a dagger as he approaches and goes, "You need to understand that for all of us, a group like you coming in with..." You can see he glances towards Thalamir and then Palin, and then for Grey goes, "The unique characteristics that you have, then, of course, with what we've been through, our alarms and our worries are high. It is nothing personal for you or your kind and friends. It is just for protecting ourselves. Many monsters have gone through that door. We just want to make sure that you're not one of them."
And what made you think we were monsters when we arrived? We are some of us are strange looking. But did we do something?
Well, somebody coming into an establishment for the first time shouldn't be galloping around the halls, especially for people who are as frightened as us. We have seen many people die, and anybody who, dare I say, does not look like a Barovian is somebody that we need to be skeptical about.
You dare say my companion is not allowed to walk through here?
With his armor and his weapons and his intimidation, yes. He's more than welcome to have drinks and spend time in the village of Barovia. But an introduction could have been something that was more appreciated.
I fear you misunderstood. He did not intimidate anyone. He walked. That is all.
He can't help having heavy feet.
As you say that, the older individual behind kind of pops and he goes, "I told you she can speak, I could tell." And he goes, "Please. What is your name?"
I am Gestalmaro.
It's a nice name. My name is Rasmus. I am the hunter of this village. I provide food and protection. And due to some circumstances, within the last 24 hours, I am the new mayor of this town as well. And due to that, tensions are high. So we apologize for the warm welcome to you, but please bear in mind that we are on a very elevated level of concern with some of the things that have transpired.
You are the one in charge.
As of a few hours ago, yes.
A few hours ago. Well, congratulations. What
Can I do
happened?
one? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Can I do one more disrespectful thing before I rejoin the group?
Sure, you're just bullying him up there.
Fuck this guy. So
English,
when I crop dust him, and I turn around, I'm gonna do that thing that horses do where they like flick their tail when flies are on their butt, and I'm gonna hit him with my tail.
As that happens, you can see he kind of looks over, and he kind of falls from the back of the tree. Goes, "Ah!"
No, not hard enough to like knock him over. Just like
Wimpy.
Just let him
He's
know
that
you fly.
wimpy.
As you give him a little bit of a whack as you kind of walk by with that, you can see he kind of rolls over to the side of the chair, just stares at you, and he's fuming. But
good.
he is holding his tongue with the situation at hand.
Good.
As this individual is back down here talking to you, Gestalt and company at this time.
What is it that transpired that has removed the previous mayor?
The previous mayor was killed. You can see with the pause, he goes, by a minion of the Count of Strahd himself, one of his minions inside the village, tricked him and his son to leave their estate. And when they went to explore, a shot rang out from one of the crossbows into his chest. And now, the son is a mess. We need to find a way to get his daughter out of the village. And I just found all of this out about 6 hours ago while I was on a hunt. Now I have to try to rebuild some of the protection around the village. I have to make a wall. I have to make, out of some of the vines, some barbing to try to protect us from the undead. There's a lot that goes on in this village that, from what I assume, you not being a local, you might not understand here. But time is of the essence with the blood moons coming soon.
You know, I am quite fond of vanquishing the undead. I take great joy in it.
Well, if any of you would like to put any work into this village, I am going on a hunt soon to get some supplies, and well, I would need some people to help me hunt and some to chop wood to try to work on some of the protections that barricade this town. It's a good way to get yourself liked in the public eye.
Wood, are you going into that haunted forest I hear so much about? That wicked place.
I would not be going alone. I'd be planning on bringing some of the town guards or whoever's interested. We would need some people cutting some of the trees on the outskirts, and only the outskirts of the woods. You do not want to go inside, especially once it gets dusk. I would need some people to help find and weave some of the vines. Then I would need some people to go hunting for any meat on the outsides and the outskirts of the woods. But none of us can go inside. Going inside the woods is a suicide mission for anybody. I hunt the open fields or the outskirts, but I've never gone willingly more than a few hours into the woods by myself. Too much at stake.
I'm gonna peer over to Thalomir at this point and see what he thinks about all of this.
Well, Mr. Mayor, if it's help that you need, that's help that you got.
Well, that's something that the town does need. You could either help with reinforcing some of the outsides, helping us build up some sort of a wall barricade, or if you plan on staying at least for tonight, I know that Ishmark, the son of the former mayor, might need some assistance with a few things at his estate. He plans on taking his daughter to the town of Vallaki tomorrow to protect her from some of the evils inside the village. But he might also need some help with some of the things at his house, and I know he's willing to pay gold or some bartering tools as well for any assistance.
Okay. Get to it. You can consider it done, Mayor.
You see the older individual kind of rolls his arm and kind of moves away as he kind of scoots his way over towards the fire at this time. Well, if any of you need anything, I'll be warming up. But please make sure that you're cautious inside the village. Everybody in this area is going to be skeptical when it comes to seeing you and your companions.
I have a feeling they will come to adore us.
Well, I plan on leaving within a few hours if you're interested in going with me into the woods. But if you have other plans, I understand. Just be cautious of who you talk to, and know that not everyone in the village is good. Plain and simple.
And who should we be staying away from? What nefarious entities poisoned your well?
Poison the whole village. Anybody that you cannot trust. There's no telltale signs. A person might be fine today, and then tomorrow might backstab you. A person who you've known your entire life might steal from you. Just make sure that even amongst your own, you keep a level of caution and skepticism. That's the way to survive Barovia, is keeping your sanity and keeping your enemies close, but not close enough to bite you.
As he says that, I'm just gonna shift my eyes to this person. And I'm just gonna not look back at the mayor and keep looking at that person.
You see a girl. You can tell that she is elvish. In human years, she would be probably in her mid to later 20s. You can see that she has tattoos that ride from her wrist all the way up her arms as she watches from a distance with these very piercing eyes, sunken and hollow. She watches as she begins to kind of move her fingers back and forth, as you can see that there's a coin that just begins to kind of flip and roll amongst itself, floating in the air above her fingers, as she just watches you guys from a distance. That's what you see.
Good to know, Mayor. Good to know.
See, he kind of glances over, looking at Palin and Gray towards the back, and kind of nods at them as well, as he begins to slowly make his way over to warm up by the fire before he plans on leaving in the not so distant future.
What an interesting town.
It's probably as a result of the proximity to the castle. If I were to take a guess.
What about this Vallaki, Dalamir? not.
Lucky. Afraid that does not ring a bell.
So we are going to be the heroes of the town.
It appears that way.
I thought that wasn't something you were interested in doing, Thalomir. What swayed you?
Not sure. Something about it just... We need some sort of help. We need something to give us an advantage. I feel like information is our number one weapon. And if anyone would have information, it would be the people that have lived here for hundreds of years. So we can go on the good side of these people. Maybe we can get some information from them.
You are far smarter than you look.
You notice as you say that a little bit of the leftover ale begins to drip out of Palin's mouth as he leans over at this time. For Palin and Gray, for the two of you, as this dialogue is going on, is there anything the two of you are up to or doing, or any conversations at this moment?
Not really. Grace just still pretending to sip on the ale, even though she doesn't really have to.
And as you begin to kind of hold on to this drink, kind of nursing it this time, for the whole party, anything you guys discuss or do at this time?
Glance back at the lady in the corner. What is she up to?
You see that she's kind of sitting there watching the group, and she's moving her hand on her fingers in a fluttering motion. And above it is a coin that, with an arcane kind of glow, is just spinning and kind of rolling amongst itself above her fingers as she is glancing at the party. And then she makes eye contact with you. And as this happens, you hear a voice, almost as if it's behind your ear, that says, "Hey, stranger," as it goes into your ear, and you can feel the exterior gourdness of your skin begin to kind of move with a chill.
I recognize that is a voice from her, or does it say? Okay, so it does seem to be coming from her.
Yes, you have like a pulling towards her when you hear that voice.
Okay. I'll raise up my little gourd fingers and give a wave.
She waves her hand as you can see that the coin floats and flies your direction and goes right above your finger and lands on that gourd and continues to kind of spin on top of it.
That's kind of cool. That's very cool. What a neat little trick. I, being a good thrower, would like to toss this coin back to her.
Give me an athletics check at this time. Redemption.
Oh,
Quarter three. Let's see it.
What is wrong with you?
How's a 5 going?
We should invest in getting Palin a slingshot.
I would like to give
beams are right in the face.
a big pumpkin smile when whatever happens. I like.
You chuck it that direction like, instead of like being nonchalant, just kind of like toss it. You whip this coin, and
Hey, it's all about the game.
as you do so, you actually throw it, and it actually bounces off the table and shatters what looks to be a singular picture frame that is on the wall of a drawing of the establishment. It just kind of cracks the glass on it. As you can hear the barkeep just go, "Oh no," as his voice kind of echoes into this loose bar. You can see that the girl turns and kind of laughs.
Oh my god!
As she just puts her
I'm
head
going
up,
to
and you
break
see the
my
coin
mother, I
flies
swear.
back into her hand.
There goes all the disrespect that they needed to be mad at us.
Thank you,
Breaking
Phelan.
shit.
We made friends. Can leave now. So she's got her coin back.
Yeah.
I'd say we did pretty well. I mean,
Mission accomplished.
Isn't the coin like right back to the shattered glass?
Yeah,
Isn't like right next to it?
that was right by her. Yeah.
so yeah, I've got a really good arm then. Right to her again.
She just kind of watches from a distance now and just kind of shakes her head, and she begins to open up what looks to be a journal, and she begins to write inside of it. And there's a few other pieces of paper scattered across that table as well. That is
She's
legit.
got a on you, Phelan.
You see that? Fellas, you throw the ball, you get the girl.
Phelan, I do believe you overshot that a teeny bit.
They didn't want that painting anyway. You heard the barkeep. He didn't like, or I'm sorry, drawing, whatever you call it.
I think perhaps he just talks like I do. The deadpan is unintentional.
I think he's got more control over it. I think he really wasn't that broken up. Unlike the glass, which is very broken up.
Perhaps.
As you're talking, you can see that the spider-webbed glass loses its kind of grip on each other as the shards just fall officially onto the ground now with a thud. And as that happens, you can see that this individual at the bar kind of puts his head up and shakes. He goes, "All right, who's making a mess inside this fine establishment?" As he kind of begins to walk and kind of knocks the chair over and looks your direction and points, goes, "Are you causing trouble inside the Blood on the Vine Tavern?"
I do not believe so.
Is
Not
he pointing to someone
intentionally.
specifically?
Kind of doing one of these. A little
Okay.
bit of a spray amongst the group.
Does he think that
Spray?
it's the lady in the corner since there's broken glass right behind her?
She's got the coin too. She's got the evidence.
He would not assume it would be her in this situation.
What?
Yes.
Let's blame her. Let's blame her.
Like, right.
No.
No. I'll stand up. Sir, I do apologize. I overshot a throw. That one is my fault. I apologize.
As you see the blade come, there goes, "One of the Count's minions has entered our fine establishment." As he begins to kind of nudge and begrudgingly kind of shake his body your direction, getting close to potentially try to swing on you as he kicks the
It's fine.
picnic table
That's
off
fine.
to the side. As the blade
I've got
gets
my-
close, he kind of
Have you-
points it towards you.
Oh, that's fine.
Sir, I do believe you are inebriated.
Let us duel.
He looks at
Is
you.
he drunk? Is he really drunk?
Oh, you
Very
without an
drunk.
insight check needed.
Can I
Alan,
try
did
and
you just
disarm
challenge
him?
him to a duel?
Yeah, I said we could duel. He wants to duel. We'll duel.
Can I try and disarm him?
Yeah.
Oh. No.
Give me a dexterity versus his to see if you're
He
able
challenged him to a duel. You gotta respect the
to
duel.
respect the duel.
I want to use athletics. I want to use strength.
Okay. Oof, whoa, dirty 20 will always be the 7. As he takes out
Yeah,
the
well,
blade
Always.
and he begins to try to move it that direction, he goes, "I'll show you a duel." As he does that, you actually just grab the sword by the actual blade as his hand's so loose on it that he just lets go. He goes, "This sorcery is insane. You're lucky I bring 2 blades," as he takes out of his tunic a small dagger. And we'll try to
You never expect to.
He'll try to stab your direction. He's going to try to attack you, but he's going to miss with an 8 as he kind of just swipes the air and falls
You
into the
never-
picnic table towards you.
You never expect the neck dagger.
No.
No, you never do.
As you approach, do we have to go into turn order, or is there anything you guys try to do at this time?
At this
I'm
point,
just-
I'm not getting
Trying to
involved.
fight this guy, yeah.
I'll fist fight him.
Okay. let's roll initiative.
Hey, Mayor, come get this guy.
You can see that the mayor.
Are we
looks,
really all fighting this guy?
I'm not.
This is a duel.
I think the turn order is just for the duel.
You can see as the duel's about to begin. You can see the mayor does kind of scurry over and goes, "Gentlemen, ladies, please, 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 Ishmark, leave him alone. They are friends. They are not any of the minions of the Count, and they're not any of the minions of Strahd. Please, I know that today has been hard on you, but you must understand that they are patrons. They are visitors. They are not a threat." As you can see, this individual kind of looks and goes, "I feel like I want to redo your eyes, pumpkin." It's just gonna. If none of you are in danger, then buy me a drink. How about that? As he begins to kind of look
I
over.
will.
Unfortunately,
I will hand him
things
the
are-
one with the pumpkin seeds in it.
He takes it.
Yes.
He goes, "Thank you for your hospitality." He begins to drink it, and he goes. And as this happens, you can actually see arcane flames kind of spit out his mouth from the pumpkin seeds. No damage or anything, and no actual heat. But he kind of looks and goes, "That was a little bit stronger than I thought." As he kind of leans on the table and goes, "You know, Pumpkin Man, if you're not a danger, I apologize if I came to stark at you. It's been a long day, and we should be buds."
It seems the issue has resolved itself.
Yeah. Let us be friends.
He kind of leans over, and as he falls asleep next to you, as he is unconscious, falling asleep.
Aw.
As for the party, what do you guys do at this time?
I'm gonna shove him off my shoulder.
Kind of falls on.
Get off me. This is Ishmark? I thought Ishmark was taking his... I'm asking the mayor this. This is Ishmark?
Yes, he is taking his he is taking his sister to.
Oh, his sister.
Yes, his sister to the town of Valaki tomorrow. As his
Well,
father
he's
just
in-
died.
He's in no state to do that.
He has been like
That's a
this
good thing.
since his father has passed. All day today.
And do we know what happened to Papa Ishmark?
Yeah, that's how he ended up being mayor. Got lured out of the house and shot with a crossbow.
Oh, right. No, I didn't know. I didn't know if Palin was listening. Right. Yes, the crossbow. Well, surely if he's in no state to do it, we can escort her to Valaki.
Well, I wish that I could give you coin for it, but you could perhaps go with Ishmark tomorrow and just make sure that he is sober enough, because he does have a carriage that you guys can also use with him.
Perfect. He can be in the carriage, and we can protect it from the outside.
Now, there is a slight problem. If you would all be willing to do one small quest for me, perhaps I can provide a little bit of loot or a little bit of treasure to give you as payment. It is a small task that can be done today within an hour, but just needs to be done. Unfortunately, I can't. It would make me too high of a target. And with being the last person in line when it comes to being mayor, this town would fall, I think, if I perished.
Okay. What's the task?
You have to bury Ishmark's father in the church inside town. I can't go there because it's too dangerous, but we need to do a proper burial for the mayor. If we're not able to, I don't believe that Ishmark will. I know that his sister would not leave until her father is buried. I'm willing to pay in advance a little bit of gold and a few small things that I have in my personal collection if you're willing to take this quest.
Well, shouldn't we wait until the morning? Wouldn't Ishmark want to be maybe more present for its father's service?
I do not believe Ishmark is going to be sober for the next few weeks, if I had to assume. And to be quite honest with you, I think that his presence would hinder such type of funeral. There's a reason why he is not the mayor of this village.
It is still advisable to wait until the morning. We are drained from fights earlier in the day.
Very well. If you are looking for a place of refuge and sleep tonight, the tavern is paid by me for you this evening. Feel free to get some rest. There's some rooms that hold 4, and then there's some separate rooms that can hold 2 to 3 each. Feel free to have your pick. Nobody is using them for the evening. I'll talk to Eric, the barkeep, and I'll ensure that you have a place to sleep for this evening.
Thank you very much.
He nods as he begins to kind of go back over to his section and prepare to go to the woods. He is going to be leaving within the next hour or so, but for company for all of you guys in totality, is there anything you guys say or do at this time?
I do not know about you, but I require rest.
Rest would be good. A quick poll, how are we feeling about the burial? Are we good to do that, or are we feeling no?
I will have to avoid the temptation.
I think it falls in line with everything we are trying to do here. If he is the mayor's son, maybe he has some history, some knowledge of this town going back further than others. Maybe that might be assistance. We also need to help the Rasmus in doing what he asked earlier. We would gain favor in the town, which would allow us to move around a little easier. If anything, it may be beneficial to delay the burial until we have finished some of the other things here. So that way, Ishmark does not leave, nor with his sister. Do you not agree?
No, I agree. I just wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. Thalamir, you've been a bit quiet there, my friend. You scared of burials, or what's up?
Really no matter to me. Whatever gets us what we want the fastest.
Agreed, and I think befriending the mayor would be really good for us here.
Agreed.
Agreed.
When we are decided.
We should get some rest. We have a long night.
Yes.
And at this time, if you guys are planning on getting rest, in this upper section over here, there are hallways with doors and bedrooms. Unless you guys have anything else you guys are doing for this time in the tavern or the village of Barovia at this moment.
Oh, hey, it's the room with the 4 beds.
Gray, you find a room over there that is covered in dust. You can kind of see covered most of the stuff in there. And there's a large wooden pallet that has on top straw beds of 4 with a few open lock boxes that you can put your items in. There's a large bench off in the corner, and there's a chair. Palin, you found the bathroom. Palin, inside here there is a washing bucket. There is a toilet that is just a hole in the ground with a wooden plank above it. And there's a large used bathtub of still water that sits off into the corner.
Yeah, no, I'll took a wrong turn. I'll leave that.
You see a room up here that has 2 beds and a chair. Thalamir, you see this one has 3 beds. And this one over here by Gray, you have 4 beds inside of there.
You know, Gray is just gonna go ahead and take this bench right here
Find that
instead
one.
of the bed.
It has a blanket that is made out of the fur of a bear. A bear that has white fur that you can see that has been skinned and is placed on top of there. You can see some of the markings, some of the etchings on the actual kind of material over there. That's what you can see.
You all are free to take the beds, Gistel. I do not require sleep, per se.
You said something that I found interesting. You said that the deadpan was not intentional in regards to the bartender. What makes you so sure?
It felt different than mine. The only reason I am capable of speech is because I am able to control the muscles within this body. I am not good at inflections yet to properly emote. He seems to be a living person, and yet he is still using that deadpan tone. I believe this is something called sarcasm.
No, something doesn't sit right.
Did the man that Thalamir picked up say that he was an addict of some kind to this leaf that we found? Perhaps he took some when no one was looking.
I cannot say for sure. But I know people who own establishments. That was a picture drawn of this establishment. It is livelihood. And it was smashed in front of him. And that was the second outburst that he made. With that same deadpan, as you call it. Is that you do? That does not track.
Perhaps it is something that warrants further investigation.
Something is wrong.
I was simply trying to keep a cool head.
Do you believe that maybe he is more like you? Not in that you are using this husk. But maybe he is the husk. And
There is
everyone else,
potential.
everyone else there had emotion. The older man was rude and bitter. The mayor was scared and cautious. The drunk was drunk but still passionate enough to fight. And wasn't the one causing all the trouble with Thalamy. I was acting out of fear. The bartender saw us and had Palin vandalize some of his things. And nothing.
There's a possibility of it, I suppose. If that were the case, my spores would be able to affect him.
I guess we will see what happens then, huh? But that is something worth taking consideration for.
You'll have
Everyone
to
here,
keep an eye out.
everyone here shares that attitude. It would at least explain the torso in the alley. Anyone who cares doesn't do that. Actually, I'm gonna dip out real quick and use the bathroom.
As you go to the bathroom at this time, as most of you begin to kind of close up shop for yourselves, Palin, you have made your way outside of the room, and you see Ishmark is still deep in slumber when it comes to his spot at the picnic table at this time. There is a little bit of drool coming from his mouth as he is snoring very audibly at this moment.
My good buddy here, so I'm gonna see if I can get him to wake up a little bit and get him back to the room.
Oh, hey, I remember you, man. I'm sorry for trying to attack you earlier. It's been a tough 24 hours.
Hey man, I don't blame you not one bit. But right now, let's get you to the bed.
My estate is a 10-minute walk. Can you walk me there?
What if you stayed here tonight instead?
I cannot stay here. I need to be back for my sister, Irina. She
Yeah,
is at... No.
We'll get there. We'll get there tomorrow.
My father's dying wish was to protect her, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing after a few drinks of courage.
For sure. I think you've definitely gotten that courage. Let's take that courage, pack it up, and go to bed here. You can use it tomorrow.
Give me a persuasion. It's gonna be a little bit elevated of a DC, but we'll keep it regular instead of disadvantage. Big.
6 tonight, baby.
He looks
It's
at you.
mathematically improbable that you've rolled so low all night.
It's not double digits. Oh no, my insight was double digits.
He looks at you and begins to kind of stumble his way towards the door and goes, I have a job I need to go to. You get sleep, buddy. You get sleep. You need it.
I'd like to try and get Coin Lady's attention.
She looks over your direction and through papers in her hand and kind of glances over.
Papers. Is she reading papers right now? I'm waving at her and saying, "Hey, can you help me with him, please?" I'm trying to stop him from leaving.
She begins to walk over and she kind of pats him on the shoulder and goes, I can make sure that he gets to his estate. He does have to take care of his sister. It's kind of a serious matter, but he needs to be back.
For sure. Just a quick idea I'll float. What if he stayed here tonight? That way nobody has to walk him anywhere. He just has to walk 25 steps that way.
He can die, or his sister can die, if he's not there to protect her. If you want to go with him, spend the night there, perhaps. If not, I'll just make sure that he gets back. They're safe as long as they're inside that house. He's not safe inside this tavern.
What's not safe about him staying here?
He's royalty in the village of Barovia. He's a son of the mayor. You know, the Count, if you want to call him the Midnight Terror, whatever you want to call him. We need to keep him safe from that. He's a big target. Having him inside this tavern puts all of us at risk.
I'm just a little confused how the new mayor was selected and he's already just in such danger. What is this danger?
Strahd wants to kill anybody who's in charge of the village of Barovia, and Ishmark and his sister are huge members of that. And them being in that estate is the only way they can be safe. It's protected with amulets, with paintings, with glyphs, with things that will ward away any type of undead or creatures.
Wouldn't that be the first place you would look
You can
for someone
see
is in their estate?
Her cheeks are pitch red at this moment as she goes, I'm going to take him to his estate.
No, there's no need.
Then
He can
come
stay
with.
here.
You can come
We can all stay here.
with. She begins to walk with them.
Oh no. Fine, I'll leave.
Oh no. Okay. As
We're
you leave
splitting
at
the
this
party
time,
early.
I know. Splitting the party.
Don't trust her. I don't like her.
She's
You don't like her.
Well, I like her, but I don't trust her.
You're gonna feel something climb onto your cloak and climb
Okay.
onto your shoulder.
As you feel a little bit of pressure onto your shoulder at this time, do you react in any way?
No, I play it cool.
You play it cool?
It's
Well,
the
y-
giggling wall.
Yeah, I
Something
imagine
new.
I recognize this.
Alright, this is what you see. As you begin to approach the alleyways of these cobblestone kind of passageways, you feel an ominous sensation as nobody else is really out on the streets or in the cobblestone at this time. You begin to approach a property that has a large fencing around it. You can see that there is a iron gate that opens and closes but is covered in moss. You can also see that there are vines that hang. You can see that there are different symbols that are painted amongst the walls. And in the middle, you can actually see that there is an estate. There is a manor. The manor itself is historic. It's probably one of the most well put together buildings in this village, but it is covered in reinforced iron bars, covered windows, and more. As he approaches, he goes, "Home, sweet home. Thank you so much, both of you. Truly, your presence amongst royalty is something to not be diminished. One day you can have your own village to take care of, and for that," he goes into his pocket and he puts out 15 gold pieces for you, Palin, and the individual with you at this time. Do you accept these coins?
Put that away, my friend. This is what friends do.
Tasha!
No.
Get inside that house! Let's get some of these amulets!
You're
Yeah.
a great person, but I don't even know if I know your name, friend. My name is Ishmark. I am the son of the former mayor of the village. As you can see, a little bit of tears begin to suck that up. As he says,
It's all right. It's right. You can let it out, my friend. You can let it out. I'm Palin. You know I'm Palin. You know we're good friends. I told you that earlier tonight.
I don't even know who you are. I'm gonna go to bed now. Nice to meet you, Fallon. And
Yeah. Oh, almost.
Bartlett, thank
Palin.
you as always. You two have a good night as he begins to make his way towards the house inside.
Let's get in the house! Let's get in the house!
You hear it?
As he shut the door.
He does.
Oh, bummer.
You see the two of you awkwardly look at each other as she goes, so we have to do that quite often with him. He tends to get drunk at the smallest inconvenience. With his father passing away, that's going to be a tough one for him.
It sounds like you're pretty familiar with him And his family then?
Well, I am a local when it comes to the village, so yes, I've known his family my
Sure,
whole life.
sure.
We were childhood friends, too.
Were you really?
Yes.
Gonna insight that one? 18, baby.
You can tell that
That puppy rolls high.
they are not childhood friends.
They are not?
No, they are not childhood friends.
I knew it.
With an 18 inside?
I knew it. I knew it.
Lies.
Okay. Right. Yes. Yeah, I want to appear as if I'm believing her.
Yes.
Okay, right.
We've known each other since we were young. We used to safely play in his courtyard of his estate.
Safely play.
Well, we wouldn't leave
What would be unsafe?
leaving the courtyard and going into the actual village.
Was there danger even then?
There's always been
If he was, well, he wasn't the mayor's son until a few hours ago.
You see, he looks and goes, you do understand that the mayor inside the tavern is not related to Ishmark. Ishmark's father is dead. That's now the new mayor who is there, Rasmus. His dad died from the crossbow shots. How long have you been in the village?
Long enough.
Long enough.
How long have you been in the village?
My whole life.
Right, that's what she said.
You can see she kind of looks and goes, well, Helen, I believe the name was. I wish you the best of luck in your adventures here in Barovia. If you ever need anything, I'm the person to find.
Well, how do I find a person with no name?
My name is Bartlett, and you can find me every day inside the Blood and the Vine Tavern.
Bartlett?
Yes. Bartlett, yes.
Bartlett. Okay. Bartlett. That's a really unique name. Where's that from?
My family. Why are you
No,
asking
right.
so many
Okay.
questions?
Where's it from? From
Yeah, you know.
From my parents.
Yeah, right. No, I get that.
They chose it out.
Family name? I don't know.
If you're asking for my last name, it's Ravenswift.
Ravenswift. Okay. Great. Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll be at the tavern tomorrow then.
Yeah, that's when I clock into my job.
All right. Well, we'll see to it that you know they're leaving town.
She kind of
siblings
raises
here.
her eyebrows. She goes, I would assume so with his father dying, but if I were you, I'd recommend leaving as well with them. You know, the town of Valaki up north, it's a lot more safer. You don't want to really be around the village of Barovia. It's a place where people just stagnate to death. There's never any change.
Stagnate to death. Sounds horrible.
It is. But best of luck, pal, as she begins to try to walk away.
Is enough? We should eat her bones.
Yeah, I don't trust her one bit.
Right. So you know what we do? We break into Ishmark's house
You're.
and eat the amulets that are protecting it.
We can definitely do one of those. I'm. We gotta tell the others first, though. We can come back here.
And break in?
Probably, yeah. I just don't.
Fine.
I don't feel as if we should do this alone. We should bring in everyone else to eat the amulets, you know?
No. I eat the amulets. That way everybody keeps me alive.
Okay. Fine. You can have the amulets.
Yes. Hey. I've been in a lot of dangerous situations. Why would I leave one safe place to go into a dangerous situation?
Well, You know, you bring up a good point here, but we're in Barovia, as our good friend Miss Ravenswift just said. Nowhere is safe.
Except there. Where the ambulance keep them safe.
Yeah, and the paintings, their drawings keep them safe too.
Well, eat the drawings for good measure.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I think we should go back, grab everybody
Into the
else.
house.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Fine.
You guys are gonna try to sneak into the house.
Yeah. Let's get in the house.
Okay. You guys notice that the front gate is unlocked. So as you guys begin to make your guys' way through,
Well, the door was just in front of us.
so if you guys are still in the courtyard, then you guys would be in there anyway.
Yeah.
You guys would see that the door is closed in front of you guys, into the actual house. You guys see that there are windows that are boarded up, but perhaps some ways in for sure. Is there anything in particular you're looking for or trying to do at this time?
I didn't hear a lock click. I'm going to the front door.
You twist it, and you do feel the door is locked, but it's locked by what looks to be
No.
a simple internal lock.
When did he lock it? He has the wherewithal to lock this door.
It's a scary world out there.
So, gotta lock the front door. Two strangers brought me home, but thankfully I locked the door.
So for the two of you, what do you guys do at this time?
Do thieves' tools have a lockpick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck
Tools
yeah.
are
That's
hard
like their
lock
whole
pick.
thing.
Listen, I don't use toolkits at all. I'll use them then.
You pull out the thieves' tools at this time. Feel free to use those to pick the lock.
What roll is that?
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand? Okay. Oh, perfect.
Big roll. 20. That's
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You twist, and as that happens, you feel the compressed gears of the lock finally release, unlocking the door with a twist. As you open it, do you look inside the house?
I just walk right in.
As you walk in, feel free to give me a stealth check at this time. As
What
you
if I'm just walking right in? I'm not trying to stealth.
Okay. As you walk in, let's get over here then.
Yeah.
Door was unlocked.
That's a great idea.
You should have locked your doors.
You're a menace.
Drunk man forgot to lock the door. It's not my fault. I'm just making sure my friend gets home.
Tis all. Alright, so at this time, as you go inside, this is what you see. As we switch over. There we go. What you see inside as you make your way inside this home invasion, you see an antique interior of this estate. You can see that there are aged and ancient chandeliers. You can see that there are paintings amongst the walls. You can see that amongst every window there is a bit of what looks to be some type of herb that is protectant of whatever is out there. You see some of those paintings and smudges of religious symbols as well. There's two things you also notice. One of the first things you notice is Ishmark is halfway up the stairs, passed out, asleep. In addition to that, you notice that the door that you have entered on the interior, there's about 7 other locks, including iron bars that slide shut, things that twist, chains. He decided to, yes, just indeed lock the single internal lock of the door. But you've been able to successfully thieves tool your way in. You are inside the estate with your companion at this time on your shoulder. What do you do at this moment?
First things first. Any amulets in the vicinity?
You see, without any roll needed, there's a bunch of small, like trinket amulets that are against the windows. If it looks to be an insignia, without a religion check, you can't tell exactly what it is. But yes, you do find some of these amulets hanging around.
I mean, maybe not those. They don't look like they're up to Ixix's taste. You know, I would hate to get him a nasty little amulet. We gotta have something bigger.
I noticed them.
You do notice them amongst the walls. They are nailed to either the wooden trim of the windows or walls, or they are looped around different things such as hooks, etc.
Is it possible for me to take them off?
Oh yeah, easily. They're just kind of hanging there.
You just hear me jump off of his shoulder, and and I start trying to eat them, all of them. One by one.
As you begin to eat them at this time, they
Swallow
crash.
the whole of my can.
Yes, you've eaten about 4 of them at this time as you were just going crazy on that wall. For Palin, seeing these amulets lift and get digested, what do you do at this time?
I'm not worried about it. They're leaving tomorrow anyway. Dude's on the stairs. Oh, I cannot control my token. I would like to approach my good friend Ishmark.
As you begin to approach the stairs at this time, you should have access now. You see Ishmark on the stairs, about halfway up, just kind of laying there, and you can see every few seconds he kind of tries to like pull his arm up to drag him up, but he just kind of slides back down 2 stairs and falls back asleep.
All right, I'm gonna kind of take one arm, throw it over my shoulder, and try and get him to his feet so we can get up these stairs.
Father, is that you?
Oh, no. Sorry. No, it's Palin.
Can you check on my father in the dining room before bed? Make sure that he eats all of the wolf steak.
Yep. I will check on that for you. Let's get you upstairs first, and I'll do that second.
You make your way up the stairs, and you do see that there's a bedroom. You put him in. You see that there's 3 bedrooms. You see that there's one with a brown door, one with a purple door, and one with a green door. None of them are labeled, though. All are closed.
Is the green scarf in his profile pic accurate?
That is a canon bit of clothing, yes.
Okay. Does it match to the green on the door?
It's a similar hue, you know.
Similar hue. Okay, let's stick him in that room.
You open the door, it's unlocked. You can see that it is an aged bedroom that does have one large bed as he kind of makes his way and just plops in it. Doesn't even take the armor off, but kicks the boots off, and you can see it just kind of roll off the side of the bed and onto the floor. You can see dirt kind of cakes off as he just begins to snore. And he just kind of gives you a thumbs up as he goes back to sleep.
All right. Good night, sweet prince. I'll leave the room.
You're not gonna give him a kiss on the forehead?
Sure, why not?
He'll
Do
just
you have lips? You're a pumpkin.
Yeah.
I guess not lips. Yeah. Yes, it's a little nightlight, and I'll.
Roll for lips.
Do you nicely and safely leave the manor now at this time without?
No, I'm not leaving the manor.
Oh my
I'm
God.
ripping up the upholstery while he's up there.
Yeah.
No.
As soon as I'm done eating all the ambulance, I go, upholstery, my great enemy! And I just start slashing through the chair and just ripping it apart.
You hear a ton of ripping and tattering from downstairs, Palin. Palin, at this time, guessing you're probably just trying to get back to the tavern, get some good sleep and shut eye.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
What do you do at this time?
Has there been, with the ruckus going on, am I seeing any activity from the doors down the hall?
Not at the
Or do I-
current moment, no.
Not at the current moment. Okay. Well, this is just a prime reason why they should leave. It's not safe here. I'll head down.
Someone's destroyed their whole living room.
It's so true, so true. Yeah, we got to get them out of here. Leaving tonight would even be better, but it's a good thing we're here to keep him safe.
They should have called me the ribbon maker.
They should have. They should have. And who's to say they still can't? You know, you can have more than one title.
I've gone like kid in candy store overload. So I'm just climbing everything and just running around making a ruckus.
As this happens, you hear a clinking sound from upstairs as one of the doors open.
Oh.
you can see an individual peers down, and you can see that this is a female. You see that it is black hair with jewelry and necklace. You can see that she is in a nightgown. When it comes to sleep, you can see that it is a purplish hue. As she tilts her head over, you can see in her hand looks to be a curved sword. You can see that it looks to be silvered with a little bit of gold. As you can hear her voice echo down, goes, "Who is that down there making a ruckus? And what have you done with the living room?"
I'm a friend of Ishmark's. Name's Palin. I was just checking in on him, making sure he got home safe, and looks like home isn't safe. Something clearly happened here.
Something terrible.
Horrible. Awful.
I'm here because I just make things better.
Are you invisible at this time, or are you just...
No. Once I started eating everything, I was visible.
Oh my. You can see that she kind of looks over your direction as well. And as this happens, you can see that her eyes glow like a warm, amber, yellowish hue. At this time, I am going to have to ask for Palin to give me a wisdom saving throw at this time.
No, but I said I was a friend.
I don't know, man.
19.
You get the sense that there was some type of enchantment magic that was trying to take over you. Almost as if you felt like you were being nudged to feel or think a certain way. But you're able to kind of shake that murkiness as she begins to make her way downstairs and kind of looks over at the two of you. She does not seem to be fearful of you or your companion, though, as she makes her way down with blade in hand, as she looks and goes, "You say that you're a friend of my brother, but I've never met you before."
It's a new friendship. We found him at the tavern tonight. He seemed to have had maybe 3 too many, and I as a friend, I wanted to make sure he got home safe. There seemed to be some strange characters at that tavern. I say, as a pumpkin man.
So tear apart our living room.
This was not. No, I found it like this.
Give me a deception.
It was horrible.
A deception check. I didn't do this. I truly found it like this.
Give me a persuasion check then.
Oh, 9.
You can see she looks at you and kind of glances up and down. She goes, "You're lucky that we're leaving in the morning. This place doesn't mean much to me anyway, and I'm happy for new arrivals, but I'm not really convinced that you're a friend of Ishmark. And I recommend it's best that you and your companion leave before things get a little ugly inside of you."
Look behind me at the ripped up couches.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
As you look back, I cough out like stuffing.
A spring. Yeah, and about that. Well, first, allow me to just say I'm sorry for your loss. Second of all, I just didn't want to throw that one out there. Second of all, tomorrow, people are talking about all this danger. Ishmark actually said he wanted my companions and myself to escort you and him to Vallaki.
No,
Okay. Yeah, alright, yeah.
we can find our way without a bunch of freaks.
Oh, okay. Ouch. Okay, well, you don't even know the other people, so
There's
they
no
might
need.
look normal.
Ishmark will
Are
take
you-
me tomorrow, as well as Rasmus, and I'll make my way to the town of Vallaki, and things will be fine.
There,
And no need to say sorry for any loss. You did not know my father or anything, so there's no need for you to feel bad about it. If anything, for you, that should just be another turn of a page.
I don't see it like that at all. I think, as with most people, I can relate with loss, and so that is genuine, whether you believe it or not. But Ishmark was, he did say that he was very worried about protecting you, and so that is why I think he was quick to make friends with someone who said they would protect him on his journey tomorrow.
Because he's probably trying to hire you to take care of me. See, Ishmark never tried to take care of me until our father died today, so of course he's going to try to find some... She kind of bites her tongue for a moment. She goes, person at a bar to try to take care and escort me into the town because he can't do it himself, being the drunk that he is.
Oh, wow. She thinks we're people.
She does. It's very kind, very
kind. She
kind.
kind of has a side smirk at that comment as she kind of glances back at you guys.
Like I said, this is a very new thing. I had no idea that this was happening often. But listen, if you said you're more than capable, are you sure we can't? We're not looking for anything. We're not trying to charge you any sort of gold. We have business as well, so it wouldn't be any inconvenience on our end.
Why would you want to go there to that town anyway? That is a dangerous trek, even though it's within a day. What business do you have there?
Holy shit, what business do we have over there?
You know, business things and that. I mean, our group is all looking for something different. You know, everyone's looking for something, for answers. So that would just be somewhere else for us to look into. And if it's dangerous, I mean, you seem to have some sort of magic that you use already. That would be even better to travel with someone who is as powerful as you are with magic.
Magic? Small abilities that I have, I wouldn't consider them magic. They are just things that I was born being able to do.
And that's even cooler. Listen, I don't know a whole lot about this magic thing. I got a dagger, I go swish swish, and that's it. You know, I don't dabble with the spells and all that.
You're an arcane.
He's done it. I've seen it.
I mean, at the end of the day,
No.
you're an arcane pumpkin. There has to be more arcane about you. Are you? You can see she kind of points over at your companion, the giggling maw, at this time and goes, "Are you his master, or is he your master?"
Oh, he's my servant. I am the master here.
Yes.
I am great and powerful.
I can tell. I can tell by your interesting decor style when it comes to my living room that you have a taste in control. You can see
Yes.
she kind of glances over and just kind of smiles a little bit comically.
A great taste, and I kind of stand up straight and I start slapping my stomach. And because of all the amulets in there, it sounds like it's a bag full of nickels.
I didn't believe in those amulets and things anyway. It's more my father's thing. So you are free to eat as many amulets as you want inside of this house. It is all for you.
See? And you thought it would be a terrible idea to break in here. I'm gonna go look for more amulets and stuff that I can just chow down on.
On that comment, I'm gonna kind of look my pumpkin eyes to Irina. Does she seem to say anything to that?
She lets him just go do his thing as she looks over at
Perfect.
you and goes, like I said, I'm not really interested in keeping anything from this house, so if you're actually here just to rob me and follow Ishmark home, you're more than welcome to steal anything that's not from my room. The only thing I ask is for you to mind my father in the dining room, as we're trying to find a time to bury him before we leave. But go ahead, steal whatever paintings you want or whatever you're here for. I won't bother you.
No, I'm not trying to steal anything. And I know you did just say you didn't need us to travel with you. So about the burial thing, I think we can help with that too.
Why would you help with that? That's also dangerous. The church is in town, but there are creatures that kind of lurk amongst the fields of the cemetery.
Well, yeah, so that it would make sense to have more people there to be able to ensure that the burial happens. I would hate to see you leave this place and not be able to give your father a proper burial.
Well, I can't be there for the burial, so If
Even better. That's more of a reason why we could do it for you.
how do I know you're not just going to dump his body into the river?
That that seems foolish. I don't know why we would even consider that. I can assure you again.
You don't eat people? You're not going to eat my father?
No. Why would that be? I did see someone being eaten today, though. That was kind of an issue. But no, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. Some dude in an alley.
They might want to tell her that he was already dead at the time.
And eaten
She
by
doesn't-
animals.
She doesn't need to know these things.
You didn't try to
It's
save him.
commonplace. He was deceased for a very long time prior to this.
I'm really not allowed to leave the walls of this estate, so...
Oh, it's horrible out there. This place sucks.
But now I can't stay here, so I have to find a new place to go.
Exactly. And you need your father buried before you leave, so why not?
You can bury him with your companions. I want Ishmark there as well, to make sure that you guys don't do anything that would upset my father if he was still here. So, if you would be okay with him coming with, I guess you can come with all of us then to the town of Valaki tomorrow. But if you are just trying to steal our fortune or try to mug us on the road tomorrow, you can take any of our belongings, any of our wealth. There's nothing of extreme wealthiness here. But if you need the copper or the silver, go ahead.
I'm not interested in any of that. What I am interested in, though, you said you wanted Ishmark there to make sure things went how your father would want them. Do you have anything that you would want to have happen for your father?
You need to make sure that when you bury him that he has 2 gold coins on his eyes. I already have 2 on him now. And then she kind of pauses for a moment and makes her way back upstairs, kind of giving you a moment to stay. And comes back down.
See ya.
It looks to be a folded piece of parchment paper and goes, a letter that he should be buried with as well from me.
Very well. We can add this. And the coins things that's 2 gold coins per eye, or is that 2 gold coins total? You know, I just want to make sure we're doing this right. Okay.
He has 2 eyes.
Okay. I've never met him. I don't know. And anything else? Do you have a way that you would like him specifically buried? Any sort of rituals? Family traditions?
There's a plot in the cemetery that has my mother. His plot should be next to hers, and his plot's next to ours when we go. So just make sure that he's in the right one to keep our family together. That ground has been blessed, so we don't have to worry about any raising of the dead with my family, luckily.
Okay. And his spot, that's marked, or is that not marked?
It is.
Okay. I just want to make sure he gets to where he needs to go.
She kind of stares at you for a moment, stares across the room and goes, well, get some sleep. I don't recommend staying here tonight unless you want to move this funeral on, but Ishmark is not going to be in any state until the morning, so be safe. It's not safe walking the streets amongst dark.
And they're going to be safe here.
She looks at
Oh, we're gonna be safe. He slaps his belly with all the chinking.
I'll be safe for tonight, but all of you get some sleep.
You said I'll be. Wait, what about Ishmael?
Door
You
closes.
say no. Can't trust anyone here.
As the 2 of you sit there, rooms in tatters, what do you guys say or do?
I'm probably full of metal at this point, so I'm just like laying over with a pot belly. It was a good idea.
It's a great idea. Well, if you're done decorating here, we can skedaddle back to the tavern here.
Yeah, let's go. Hey,
All right. Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Since Gray is just kind of using that body as a vehicle, you think she'll let me use it?
For sure. You should ask her.
I think so.
You should. You should. Maybe at the burial, you ask her.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll go
She
great.
can't be that attached to it.
No, I mean only just physically, but maybe not emotionally.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get out of here before Irina comes back.
Oh yeah. She was angry.
She was so mad. We are intruders, though. Is there these locks on the doors? That's all just from on the inside, right? There's no way to kind of activate that from the out.
Correct.
Is there
Okay.
like a small little place, like a crack, that maybe a centipede would be able to get out of
Plenty.
or squeeze through?
Yes.
All right. Don't worry about it. I've got it. And
Okay.
I'll lock all the doors and turn into a centipede and crawl out of one of the holes and then revert back to myself.
Turns right back into the self in front of you, Palin, at this moment.
Perfect. Fantastic work. I didn't know you could transform into a centipede.
Oh yeah. Sometimes I just like to lay around as half a transformation.
Oh. That's chaotic. Okay. Sure, I'm sure that never gets old.
Never. Because when you have all these legs, it's good just to kind of rub around.
I believe you. I believe my transformation has not been as fun, but I'm sure yours is a little bit more.
Hey, if I could fit in your head, and I think I can I just not die from the fire?
To be honest, have never tried something like that.
You have two giant holes. You never stuck anything in them?
I'm gonna be honest. No.
Stick with me, kid. You've got a lot to learn.
We'll try it some other time, maybe. And then I guess
All right.
we'll head back.
Alright. Then as you guys begin to head back, for all of you, is there anything else you guys do this evening before you guys get a long rest at this time?
No.
No, Gasol would have went to bed.
And as you guys feel free to give your guys selves a long rest at this time, we will find out what happens next week. As after this long rest, we will see what happens in the morning. Do we go with Rasmus into the woods and explore there? Do we follow Ishmar? Do we do a burial? What do we do tomorrow? Many questions, but we will answer that next week from all of us. From Thalamir and Nate, from Gray HP, from Palin Connor, from Gestal, Frost, and myself. We are grateful for you. Have a good one.